Some people seem to think that investing in the stock market or other securities markets is all a matter of luck. Buy the right stock at the right time, and you're sure to get rich. Although you certainly can get lucky in the stock market, chances are you'll do far better over the long run by actively participating in the investing process and not just leaving your future hopes to chance. If you take time to understand your investing goals and then develop your own personal investing plan and guidelines, you can minimize the downside risk while maximizing the upside potential to do well. But make no mistake about it, you can lose when you invest your money, and you can lose big. Avoid these mistakes, and you'll be well on the way to becoming a successful investor and achieving the investing goals you've set for yourself.
If this video was helpful for you, I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to see my upcoming financial videos and give it a thumbs up. Thank you.
1. Investing before you're ready. How many mortgage or rent payments, expensive tanks full of gasoline for your SUV, or shopping carts of groceries for your family would you be able to afford before your account balance hit zero? How long could you survive if you were fired or laid off from your job? How long would your savings last if you were injured and forced to spend several months in the hospital? If your answer to these questions, and questions like them, is not many, you may not be ready to invest yet. Believe it or not, just because you've got some money in the bank or a wallet full of cash doesn't mean that you should start buying stocks or bonds or finding other ways to invest your hard-earned funds. You should first have a well-funded savings or money market account, with enough cash available to help get you through rough financial times or emergencies, before you begin investing. In addition, you should have your credit card and other unsecured debts paid down to a reasonable level. Until then, you're not ready for two main reasons. First, if you someday find yourself in a real financial pickle, the money you have put aside for this rainy day will support you and your family until you get your feet back on the ground. Although you can sell stock fairly quickly if you need to, you may have to sell it at a loss. Most people should have at least 6 months of living expenses socked away, in case of emergency. If you're concerned that your job is on thin ice and you have no ready alternatives, save even more, up to a year's worth of living expenses. Second, if you're carrying a heavy load of debt, you'll probably be making a better financial move by first paying down this debt and cutting the amount of interest you're paying out each month. So before you start investing your money in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and other investments, make sure you've got your financial act together. Investing before you're ready can stretch your financial resources way too thin and can land you in serious financial trouble before you know what happened to you. 2. Investing without goals. To be effective, every investor needs goals, that is, an idea of what future outcomes they want and expect to achieve. If you don't have goals, how will you know when you've succeeded? Goals give you direction and let you know when you've achieved success in the investing approaches you have selected. The goals you select make a huge difference in your optimal investing strategies. Remember, no right or wrong goals exist. Your goals simply are the ones that you decide are most important for you to achieve. Here is a list of the common goals for most investors. Building a strong, diversified investment portfolio that can weather the ups and downs of the markets and continue to grow over the long run. Saving enough money to put kids through college. Buying a new car or truck or big screen television. Accumulating enough money to retire comfortably, when and where they want. Building up a substantial down payment on a dream house. 3. Believing those hot tips. Consider a typical scenario. You're standing at work, chatting with a colleague and minding your business. Suddenly your coworker whispers in your ear, "Amazon stock is about to go through the roof. If you buy now, you'll make a killing in the market." People in the investing business call this a hot tip. But you can't always believe what you read, or what a friend, acquaintance, or family member tells you, no matter how well-intentioned someone is. Most hot tips are actually not so hot. In fact, they're often big money losers. One reason for this fact is that people sometimes hype the value of not-so-great stocks and other investments by starting a whispering campaign about how the stock is about to jump in price. And if you act fast, you can get in before the stock takes off. Of course, instead of taking off as promised, the stock price most often sinks like a rock, usually shortly after you buy it. Instead of relying on hot tips for your investing decisions, it's far better to do some research on your own to determine whether a particular investment will help you achieve your goals. Consider the industry. For example, if gasoline prices are going through the roof, automobile stocks may not be the best investment in the near term. Consider the company. Does it have a history of steady growth, or is it subject to wild swings in revenues and earnings? Consider the investment itself. Has it performed well over a long period of time, or is it in the doghouse more often than not? 4. Not diversifying your portfolio. Life is unpredictable. Just when you think that you've got it all figured out, and that the status quo will remain just that far into the future, life throws you a curveball. And everything you thought was stable and predictable turns upside down. Stock, bond, and other securities markets act in much the same way, as do the individual financial instruments that make them up. Just when you think you've got your retirement funded, as a result of the several tens of thousands of shares of stock you bought in Amazon over the past couple of decades, the company declares bankruptcy, and those thousands of shares of stock that you bought become worthless overnight. When putting together your investing plan, it's particularly important to select a variety of different investment vehicles, from stocks in different industries, to bonds, to mutual funds, so that losses in any one financial instrument are balanced by gains in your other financial instruments. The more diversified your portfolio, the lower the risk of your overall investment strategy. The less diversified your portfolio, the higher the risk. If you want to stick with buying stocks, consider putting together a portfolio of at least 15 different stocks in at least 5 different industries. If your portfolio includes stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, 5 investments in each of these areas is a reasonable minimum or starting place. 5. Selling too soon. Shoulda, coulda, woulda are 3 words that no investor wants to hear come out of their lips. The road of investing is littered with the bodies of people who sold their assets too soon and lost out on a significant increase in price that was just around the corner, or who waited too long to sell their assets and rode the price all the way down to the basement. Refuse to follow the herd. If people are bailing out of stocks, you probably want to hold on to the stocks that you have while you buy up as much stock as you can at the newly lowered prices. Above all, don't let the actions of others cause you to panic. Stop, take a deep breath, assess your situation, and then act accordingly.